A very good morning to everyone, my dear esteemed fellow speakers, members of GASIA, directors of the GASIA IT Association, and all esteemed delegates attending today's Digital Management Conclave 2021. A very good morning again. I am indeed very happy and excited to be speaking to all of you today. And before I go on to speak on today's topic and address you about the nuances of the conclave per se, I cannot but help recollecting some of my own memories relating to the cloud. I am also very happy that today's conference, the conclave for this year, GASIA has chosen a very relevant topic, which is powering a secure digital future on the cloud. The cloud is omnipresent, the cloud is here, the cloud is our future. But I get back to almost the 90s when I had my first interaction with what can be called as the precursor to the cloud. I was in my final year of research at IIT Bombay, and we were doing a research on computational quantum chemistry. My professor had written a program, and I remember it was in COBOL. And when we would run the program, it would take 8 to 9 hours to give the output. It was my final year. I was also preparing for the civil services. So I would use that time to brush up on Constitution. So in a computer lab in the chemistry department doing computational quantum chemistry, I was reading Constitution. And then I happened to interact with my batchmate in the computer science department, who informed me that there was a new supercomputer at the computer center at IIT Bombay. And he helped me how I could use that computational power sitting in my chemistry lab in the chemistry department. And lo, it was such a nice thing for us that the same result which was taking 8 to 9 hours, we could get the output in a matter of few seconds. And for my professor, it was the eureka moment. He was totally excited. It helped him churn out papers like never before. It helped me get introduced to the power of computing and shared computer resources. And perhaps it was also the reason that my judgment got clouded and I started thinking of software as my future. And when I left IIT Bombay, even as well I was preparing for the civil services, I joined Infosys as a software engineer. But fate has its own way, and I had to leave Infosys and I came on the government side. But even today I feel an extended part of the extended family of the IT industry. So today when we are talking about the cloud, we know that this is the future. However, there are challenges. The first challenge, of course, is the connectivity, because the cloud depends on connectivity. So where are we as a society, as a country, moving ahead on connectivity? I am very happy to share that as part of the implementation of the BharatNet project, a project which envisages providing broadband fiber-based connectivity to all the 2.5 lakh gram panchayats in the country. In Gujarat, I am happy to share as a officer of the Gujarat government, Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, I am extremely happy and delighted to share that Gujarat today has already achieved connecting 99% of our gram panchayats, more than 14,000 of them. In the last few months, we have almost completed this project, and 14,000 plus gram panchayats in the state of Gujarat will be having 100 Mbps broadband connectivity. Few years back, this would have seemed impossible to achieve. Even today, most of the states are even yet beginning to implement some of these projects. But this is the power of the government providing infrastructure and connecting digital digitally connecting all the villages through highways, information superhighways. Having addressed the issue of connectivity, the next big challenge would be addressing the security and privacy aspect. We are all aware about the challenges that the lack of security and the lack of trust of users, the apprehension of the users about the privacy of data, these are some of the concerns. Here again, I do understand that while the industry is playing its part and we are moving quickly in addressing these issues, there is a lot that also needs to be done on the side of the government. To begin with, governments, both at the national level and at the state level, need to come up with a legislative framework which safeguards the privacy as well as takes care of the security aspects of data. We are aware about the EU GDPR. We need to come out with our own set of policies on this. Another role for the government I see in its ability to further accelerate the adoption of cloud technologies and cloud-based computer services. We need also to come out with policies which will incentivize the adoption of such technologies and services. Here again, I am very happy and excited to share that over the next 3 months, the state government of Gujarat, we are going to come out with a newer, updated version of our IT policy, which is going to specifically address issues related to the present point of discussion. Governments need to incentivize, apart from putting in place a statutory framework discharging its legislative role and the policy framework, government also is a big consumer of IT products and services. In this also, the governments are moving away from the traditional way of getting and procuring these services, and we are seeing the beginning of government adoption of cloud-based products and services. We are certainly aware that in the near future, this will be accelerated further. Having said all this, I am very confident that because of the support from the IT industry, the feedback that we are getting from the IT industry, and the process of framing the new IT policy, which we think needs to be a highly collaborative effort in which we are seeking suggestions and feedback from all the stakeholders, specifically those who are involved in the IT industry. I am confident that our new policy is going to further accelerate adoption of IT within the state of Gujarat. I am highly confident that over the next 5 years, we are going to see more investments and more jobs being generated in the IT sector in Gujarat compared to several decades that have happened in the last few decades. So I think it's our earnest endeavor to ensure that cloud-based products and services are made available to citizens in general. Governments themselves adopt these services and technologies. Governments facilitate in moving towards the cloud. And one would say, why would government or why should government support cloud in such a big way? One of the reasons I would argue is that cloud-based products and services represent an efficiency, an economy of scale, which is not possible in distributed solutions. Further, I also think that in the past we used to talk about haves and have-nots, the divide between the rich and the poor. The present divide or the divide in the future, which is going to be more pronounced, will be the divide between the no's and the no-nots, or which we can call the digital divide. And the cloud can be one of the most efficient ways of bridging the digital divide. It is not as if you have to be rich enough or resourceful enough to be able to invest in a lot of hardware and a lot of computing facilities, but there is a shared facility which is accessible to everybody. So if there is a way of achieving greater equity in the digital world, I think cloud is helping us achieve that. Last but not the least, in my concluding remarks, I would like to share that even as we move forward together on this journey, we have to be mindful of the need to change the way we are evolving, that change the way we are designing things. As human beings, we have always been used to learning from our experiences that stay in the past, and we learn from those experiences, and whatever we do or we think or we design is based on those experiences that live in the past. But now we know, in the era of artificial intelligence and quantum computing, there is a need for human beings themselves to evolve. There is a need for us to be able to learn from the evolving future. It is not easy to be a futurist, but we'll have to work together to acquire some skills in which we can try to analyze the way the future is going to evolve. And we need to be able to learn from that and design products, services and solutions for our citizens learning from the evolving future. So that is my parting comment. Once again, I would like to thank GASIA IT Association for inviting me as a speaker in today's Digital Management Conclave. I compliment them for successfully organizing the 4th edition this time. In the past, they have organized such conclaves successfully. I am certain that the conclave that begins today is going to be a similar success. I compliment them, I wish them good luck, and I am hopeful and I am certain that the deliberations will be very, very helpful to all the participants. Thanks once again. Thank you. Namaste.